Hey guys, so today I tried to make a tag video and I've spent the last like 2 or 3 weeks thinking this was such a good idea, and now that I'm sitting down to film it, I feel like it's really stupid. I wanted to do a tag that was kind of revolved around brands that aren't around anymore, in the indies and mainstream, but I feel like if you're talking about brands that don't exist anymore, they're mostly indies. So I have a few questions and I'm kind of like throwing it in where you can do like one or as many as you want in each category, just so that I don't feel the pressure of having to narrow it down. I'm not gonna like tag anyone specific. If you guys want to do this, just do it, and let me know if you do it. But I just like now I'm really second guessing whether I should even do this because I feel like it's dumb. Because I always feel like I have good ideas and then when I do them, they're not that great. Since this whole thing revolves around brands that don't exist anymore, the first thing that I wanted to touch on were the top 3 brands that I would bring back if I could. So these were kind of hard for me to pick, and I did just pick out 2 specific polishes from each of the 3 brands. Now, one thing that I noticed when I was getting my stuff together for this video is that a lot of brands, like, forgive me if some of these brands aren't like officially gone. If they haven't posted in a couple of years, I'm like assuming that they're gone, but a lot of the brands kind of just like slowly like backed away, and there was no like formal announcement about them ending or anything. So if they could come back, I don't know, but these are the 3. A lot of these are going to be like nostalgic, more old school indies, but the first one that I have is Polish by Jessica Jean, which I found on Instagram a couple of years back, and I was drawn to it because my middle name is Jean, so it was like I was making polish and I wasn't back then. Her like main thing were these frosting polishes that were just white based curlies with various different glitters. And the only thing about this brand is the opacity of her white base. Like the formula changed, kind of like fluctuated as things went on. So they're not all like uniform as far as formula goes. This first one, which is mint frosting, which is still like my all-time favorite from this brand, has a pretty sheer, very milky, curly base. But then by the time we get to watermelon frosting, maybe I'm wrong, by the time we get to watermelon frosting, it's a little bit more opaque and a little bit like, I don't know, easier to build up. And then there were a couple that were like a little bit too opaque too. It was like she was learning as she went. It was cool to see it from the beginning to, anyway. So mint frosting is the white curly base with these minty blue circles and similar colored hexes that I feel like are just a little bit lighter. And then little tiny black squares. Watermelon frosting, very similar. This like watermelon-y pink circles and hexes, and then the little black glitters and some couple different shades of green as well. And I'm looking at these and I'm realizing that these are, let's just slam them together. I realized that these are probably why I really like little black glitters and curlies, and I didn't realize that until I yanked these out and looked at them today. So Polish by Jessica Jean is one I would bring back. Another one that I would bring back is Loaded Lacquer. Loaded Lacquer, it was a while back because I remember sitting at my desk at my old job and ordering Loaded Lacquer because they would sell out really quickly when there were restocks. They were always selling out. So it was one of those brands you kind of had to rush to get your hands on if you wanted them. She did all kinds of finishes, curlies and glitter toppers and holographics and everything in between. But I feel like the claim to fame with Loaded Lacquer was the, were they just called jellies? They're jelly polishes. I think they were just called jellies, which were great for like nail art and jelly sandwiches, but you could still like build them up and layer them, and they were really versatile, and I liked that a lot. So coconut, I think, was one of the big ones. It was the white jelly curly polish, which was really great for jelly sandwiches, and then watermelon was the ready pink one, and there were a bunch. I think towards the end there she was even doing like jelly of the month, because I found a couple in the drawer when I was looking for coconut. So Loaded Lacquer is another one I would bring back. So the last one that I would bring back is Candy Lacquer, and I can tell you I'm not even 100% sure that Candy Lacquer is like officially gone. She used to release, never really released full collections, kind of just like released, I guess there were kind of collections, but it seemed like it was kind of more sporadic polishes, except for like Halloween, I feel like was a big one, and holiday colors always came out in a group. I don't know, I'm probably not remembering this right. But her big thing, or at least when I found her, and this was like 7 years ago, if not 7, 8 years ago, were the glitter toppers, the clear base glitter toppers, which is really what most indies were doing at that time anyway. But I just loved her combinations. She used a lot of matte glitter, which I really liked the look of back in the day. I still do. They're just like, sometimes I feel like I'm being a little too obnoxious if I wear one now, but I had no problem being obnoxious in my early 20s. But this is a brand that I'm not even sure if it's officially gone. I feel like there was no formal announcement. Her website says like we'll be back in the new year, but I feel like that wasn't posted for this year. I feel like that was probably like a while back. And the Facebook page hasn't had a post in a couple of years, so I don't really know what's going on there, but we can hope. The two that I picked to show you for this were Sugar Skulls, which is actually one of the first polishes that I found from Candy Lacquer. It's kind of like how I became aware of the brand, and this is just a matte, really chunky glitter topper with pink and blue and yellow and white, and then there's some shifty iridescent glitters in there as well, and then Pop Art, which I still love and now I kind of want to put on, which is again matte but very bright blue, bright pink, red, a little bit of white shredded glitter and black shredded glitter, and then some bright yellows in there as well. Really, really like this polish. It was, I think Candy Lacquer was the hardest for me to pick two out of to show you, because it was like the only indie brand I was buying for a really long time, and I bought like, every time she released something I bought at least one polish. I loved her chunky glitter toppers, and as I was pulling things out of the drawer, it was really nostalgic, like, oh, I remember this one and I remember this one at Christmas time, and it was very hard for me to pick. I just spit everywhere. It was very hard for me to pick just two. So the next question in my made up tag is a brand that you never got to try before they went away. Now, I had this for like 1, 2, or 3, but I could honestly only think of one, and that was Cult Nails. That I never got a chance to try Cult Nails. I always wanted to, but it was never like a really high priority, and by the time they were gone, it was too late. So I've heard, I remember, what was her name? There was a blogger who I just used to love back in the day, Let Them Have Polish. I don't remember what her first name was, but she had like the most beautiful nails I've ever seen in my life. And she was always really, really into Cult Nails, and I'm really surprised that I never tried them, because I feel like anything she said that I should buy, I would buy, but I never got a chance to try Cult Nails before they were gone. So the next question that I have on here is a brand that you tried at the last minute. So a brand that you didn't try until they were closing, until they were having a going out of business sale, and I feel like there was another one, and I can't remember what it was. I have two here, but like, I don't know if one counts. Anyway, so Rescue Beauty Lounge is the brand that I never tried until they had like a clearance sale, until they announced that they were going out of business. And I mean, they had some pretty colors, but they just hadn't really interested me much. I was more interested because they were going out of business than I would have ever been otherwise. I just grabbed two from my like small Rescue Beauty stash. So I have Refined and Polished, which is this coral base with really, really fine blue metallic glitter, and then this really nice, kind of, I guess, slightly dusty, almost periwinkle blue shade, which is called Ah Oui. Yeah, I don't know. They're nice polishes. I guess I just don't really get it. I feel like, was there a lot of hype around Rescue Beauty Lounge, or was there only hype around them when they were closing? Because if there was hype before, like, I don't really get it, because I feel like they were kind of expensive too, weren't they? But I don't know. I don't hate them. I like the polishes that I got. I don't know. Don't think I would have bought them if they weren't on clearance. I'm not trying to be a dick. So I also have some hair polish in here, and hair polish is a brand that I didn't really try until like the very end of, I just wanted to like I wanted to fluff up the video a little bit and be able to talk about one more brand. So I put hair polish in the like brand I tried at the last minute category, but I didn't technically try them at the last minute. I just didn't really buy any until like very shortly before they like closed or disappeared. Was there some drama with hair polish going away? I feel like there was, but I don't remember. I grabbed this one, which I believe I got from Holly in a D-stash, which is called Asteroid Turf. And I only grabbed this because it has the old label, which is like filthy now, but the little like cutout bunny label, which I thought was cool. And then I grabbed like a newer label one as well, which is Hooky at the Hamlet. And this is a kind of turquoise jelly base with a bunch of white glitter and some, I can't tell if it's iridescent or just blue. I think it's like slightly iridescent glitter in there as well. I didn't really buy a lot of hair polish until the very, very end. And I don't think I actually bought any like after, I don't remember. I just know that I bought some, and then like very shortly after, all this stuff went down with hair polish. And I was like, huh, glad I got it when I did. So the next one that I have is the brand that made your first indie still in business. And I actually forgot to look this up, and I was pretty sure they were, but I just looked it up and they are not. So Pretty and Polished was my first ever indie, and I have my first ever indie right here. It is a Valentino from Pretty and Polished. It's a black jelly base with black and white and silver glitter in it. I was kind of after that Linderella Connect the Dots thing, but it was all sold out back then. That's why, actually this is not a black jelly base. This is a clear jelly base. Maybe it was black at some point. This is like water too. Okay, so I think it just needs a good shake. I was gonna try to swatch this tonight for this video, so hopefully I can get this to perform. Anyway, I actually didn't know that they were out of business. I see that they had some stuff on Instagram about a going out of business sale in July of 2017, and I feel kind of bad because I didn't know about that. But yeah, they made my first indie ever back in the day when I was looking for anything that could dupe Lindarella's Connect the Dots, because it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life, and it was always sold out. And this was the first one that I picked up to try to kind of get that black and white matte glitter look, and I still have it because nostalgia. So the last category is, I mean, I was just like trying to find things to fill. I'm not very good at this. So I was trying to find like filler questions, something that could kind of relate to closed indies, but there's only so many questions that you can ask about indie brands that don't exist anymore. Anyway, so I was thinking, like, if you were to, like, something a brand you forgot about. So I kind of like shopped my stash to pull out brands and go, oh yeah, forgot about them. So I have two. There were a couple of other brands that I found that I had forgotten about, but they weren't like, I loved them so much I can't believe I forgot about them like these two were. So the first one that I have is a Virtuous polish, which I feel like they came and went really quickly. And I also feel like they made some kind of weird comeback not that long ago, but like it was only on a certain like third-party website. Oh no, they haven't posted in a year. So, okay, I don't know. But I feel like they came in, maybe they didn't come and go really quickly, but I feel like from the time I heard about them to the time they were gone was like just a very, very tiny amount of time. So they did these really awesome bright neon pastel creams. They looked really good in pictures, and they could look really good on your nails if you were willing to work extra hard for them. They were thick, they didn't level out well, they were not super easy to use, but at the time I feel like there weren't a lot of brands that were putting colors like this out, so it was worth the extra effort. So I have Magdalene, which is this bright yellow that's like a little separated. I'm really curious to see how I'll get swatches of these because they've been sitting for so long. And Miriam, which is the really, really bright like neon pastel pink. And the last brand that I have that I loved at the time, bought a bunch of polishes from, but somehow forgot about, somehow being like I'm surrounded by Helmers, that's how I forgot, is LUMINA lacquer. So I picked out two, but there were quite a few that I could have picked out from LUMINA lacquer because I really, really liked them. The first one is Far Plain, and this is an all matte chunky glitter mix because that was the thing. This is black, pink, there's a couple different shades of blue, and it's like pastel yellow, pastel pink, black and white, moons, triangles, hearts. Oh, there's gray in there too. Really, really liked this one. I saw Bad Girl Nails or Bad Gal Nails. I think it was Bad Girl Nails. Does she still, oh my gosh, I've got Instagram open. I don't know if she still does nail art or anything either. Everyone changes their name and then I can't find them again, or like they change their name and they stop posting nail polish, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of pictures of people's kids in my Instagram feed and I don't know where they came from. So anyway, this is Bad Girl Nails posted a picture of this, and if I can find it I will show it to you. And she had done like a glitter placement with this, and that manicure is like burned into my mind. It was so, so pretty. And glitter placement as in like each glitter was taken out individually, probably with a toothpick, and placed and perfectly spaced apart from the next one on the nail, and it just looked so cool. I don't remember what the base color was, but it was this polish. Like I said, it burned into my mind. That was years ago. And the other one is the Childlike Empress, which is matte white, but everything else is like, there's some really holographic funky gold in there and blue, based off of Neverending Story, which I really liked, but then I was thinking about it the other day and I actually don't remember any of it. Like I know I loved it when I was younger and watched it a lot, but I don't remember anything aside from Falcor and then some kid like walking across a water pipe as part of like a gang initiation or something. But I don't even think that was the first one. I think that was the third one. Anyway, so that is LUMINA Lacquer's Childlike Empress. Does Bad Girl Nails still post anymore? Yes, she posted 4 days ago. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Oh, my Instagram feed's all screwed up, so I actually didn't know that she was even posting, but she posted 4 days ago. This is why I need to do live streams and not videos, because I feel like I can ramble a little bit more in a live stream. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, hearing me not shut up for like an hour and a half in a live stream once or twice a month. Okay, so that is my poorly thought out RIP tag. If you guys want to do this, do it. Let me know. I shut my Twitter down for a little while because I didn't think I would use it because I don't use it enough, and then I missed it, so I brought it back. So if you do this, tweet me or send me a message or something somewhere so I can watch it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.